They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part.
Morning, Jesus, I thought you were dead. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment is Par, Season 3, Episode 1 of the Book 2. Oh yeah, your perception, your reality. And how did Season 3 begin? For me, not that great, I'll be brutally honest. I don't know, I think Par Book 2 and like glimpses is great, and then there's other parts I just think it loses its way a little bit. But of course, Big Davis, he managed to get rid of his ring. And the whole opener to this season is that the ring that they gave him for a payment belongs to this English woman, black English woman who seems to be very serious. And then it went up for auction. They killed the guy who bought it, and now the ring is back in their possession, sort of thing. And now that Dante is dead, they need Kane, Braden, and Tyreek to work for them. So I mean that happens all pretty quickly. I mean, what do we make of this? I'm not too convinced. I mean, what are the changes this season? Diana is in Stansfield. Alright, she's just sharing a room with Braden's sister. One of the Westons. I did the Google search too, so did you. Monet is not taken well to the murder of her son, Seek. No wonder. I'm actually kind of surprised that Seek just died like that. We've also got Braden. He's now got a job with his father working in that building. I mean, we're introduced to his uncle. This isn't doing it for me. I like Braden, I do, but is this going anywhere? I'm not too sure. But we have got the main man, damn it, Lorenzo. He's being tasked, of course, with doing all these roles and all these jobs to try and find who the hell killed Seek Cross. But of course, we know it was him. So what's he going to do? How's he going to spin this? I'm not too sure. Can he really spin this? Not really. I mean, what can he do? Lorenzo, I think it's going to come out that he's the one that drops Seek, and then we're probably going to get Tyreek or something killing Lorenzo, or maybe that'll bring Kane to killing him. Tyreek then shows up at a dinner with Tate, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he whips out Black Lives Matter, and essentially Tyreek's going to get his room sorted. Brilliant. But then he tries to get some money from Stern's little boyfriend, and he blackmails Tyreek into delivering in big time for him. But is that going to happen? I'm not too convinced, because when he heads there later in the episode, Tyreek ends up stabbing him. The guy's like, "You're just like your father," and then Tyreek kills him just as Braden and Kane were going to kill the guy. Braden obviously is a wee bit hesitant about killing the guy, but Tyreek's already done it, so we're all sorted in that department here. We're introduced to a new teacher as well at Stansfield. It's weird seeing Diana in the class with Tyreek and co. You've got Effie in there as well, but it's getting incredibly woke, this show. See the whole Black Lives Matter and all white guys are evil, man. It's fucking... in the original Power show, like, there was a few references to it, but like it was done in like clever ways. In this show, this spin-off is I don't like. There was a few things in Power Book 4 Season 1, like when he got pulled over by the cops and then Tommy got him out of it, right? But I don't know. I honestly feel like in this show there's just a hell of a lot of wokeness going on. I get it. Maybe that's a fair representation of America in the classroom, in college, in school, whatever. But I'm just not digging this in the slightest. Davis, though, he's trying to get his brother out, but his brother not looking good for him because his organs are failing. In order to get him out and get in this like clinic trial, he has to be released for jail. But is that going to happen? We're not too sure, to say the least. But Blanca Rodriguez, she's doing a lot of floating about this episode. Looks like she's back in the fray. This is good, but it's not too good because Kevin Whitman has been scoping around, taking photos, and that's obviously causing a wee bit of hassle here. But it's like they've almost got all this information right back on Tyreek, and they're not really doing anything with it, man. We then have like this big memorial day for Seek Cross. There's going to be people doing speeches. Tate turns up and he bangs into the new teacher, and he's like, "Oh, I know you. What you doing here? It's a little bit white for you, isn't it? Damn it." So yeah, bit mental. Diana still kind of getting blamed here by Monet. Monet cannot even take much of the speech. We see Diana flirting with this guy. Is this going to go anywhere? I'm not really too convinced about it. Rashad Tate gives a speech. It was a pretty decent speech about Seek Cross. Tyreek then grabs the mic, starts talking about how he's a young black man and he's being prosecuted for all the wrong reasons. But it's like, this would have more weight, right? Obviously, the show would be incredibly boring if Tyreek was like a goody two shoes and wasn't involved in the drug dealing and murdering people. But it's like he goes to the microphone and he's trying to spin this story that he is like an innocent, honest student and all these things have just happened and he knows what it's like to have his life ruined and all this stuff. It's not really spinning like a good narrative of the black community that Tyreek is like standing up here trying to make himself out to be like a pioneer of the community, but while also doing all the side hustle and shit. But this is a pretty sad scene with Cross's like it wasn't really a funeral, but he then starts speaking to Monet after it. Some guy did the heckle during it and was like, "Oh, you're a fucking murderer," and he's like, "It's like that. I need to prove people wrong." And Tyreek kind of made this entire thing all about himself, even though it was about his good buddy Kevin Whitman. Who knows what's going on with him? And then they're introduced to the new setup with the new English woman. This ain't doing it for me. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. It's just not doing it for me. And then this isn't also doing it for me. Like, it's revealed at the end of the episode that Lauren's alive. And I'm sorry. I just don't really care about the Lauren character. I don't. I mean, I'd be lying like to say that I think she's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't think that. But she's alive, and I mean, I've got potential, and I still like this show, but I don't think season 3's took a good turn, and I've only watched one episode. Also, there was like it was like, did someone get fired for like the cinematography? It seems like they've changed everything up. It looks like a completely different show in that sense, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, peace.
Need versus Greed in the latest episode of Power Book 2, Season 3, Episode 2. We're here to review it. And what I like about this spin-off is like when they normally have titles like this, it's normally like a discussion in the classroom. And I think it brings like a unique dialect to the show. You don't really see many other TV shows. I wouldn't say half of it's based in the classroom, but obviously a lot of it's based up at the college campus. But obviously, it's 2024. I think this season came out just last year, and in general, the show is set in the 2020s, late 2010s, etc. And I'm just beginning to notice how much more woke it is than the original Power. And it's like you've got Braden with the new secretary woman. She's like, "Oh, you're not one of those make America great guys again," and Braden's like, "No, they're the guys that fucked everything up in the first place." Right, hold on here. So Donald Trump's the guy that fucked up everything in the first place. I mean, they not know their history. I mean, look at Joe Biden. You know, back in 1994, talking about racial jungles and doesn't want schools to mix. Trump's never come out and said anything like that. The Republicans also abolished slavery. They want to forget about that. It's like the woke agenda is so clear in this show, man, and it's just like constant. Oh, white lives. Oh, white privilege, man. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Oh, this and Tate, and like it's actually getting a bit tiresome watching it. That's what I loved about the original Power, and that was what I was fearing actually before I watched it. I was like, first season out in 2014, ends in 2020. I wonder how woke this show's going to be. And you know what? I don't even think Power was woke. Now, did it go in? Yeah, a bit of like white privilege and all that stuff. It did, but I think it did it in a great way, and I think this show has done it in a decent way in some aspects. But I'm honestly tired of like the constant painting of the white man into being a bad look, and I think it's just so hypocritical. You've got like Tyreek and other like black students and other black characters who constantly talk about like white privilege. Like Tyreek's like, "Oh, painting another innocent black man." Or another innocent black man is guilty, and it's like, no, hold on, Tariq, you're actually they're committing all these crimes. So I think it actually just makes like the black community look worse. Like you've actually got like a character in the show saying, "I'm innocent, didn't do any of this," and he did all this, and it's like all the like negative stereotypes that they're trying to like get themselves off of. It's like they're doing that in the show, and it's like, I get it, it's a show about power and drugs and money and drug dealing and all that murder and shit, but it's a wee bit funny the way they're going about their business. Yeah, enough about it, guys. I mean, I could talk all day about how woke it is, and it's the 2020s. Everything's woke. Everything's about diversity and forcing characters down your throat. Like, I mean, you can barely even find a white character in this show, let alone a good one. Like, obviously you've got Sax in it, but it's like the only actual one, if we're being truthful about it. So it's a bit weird to see it, because you're so but even like the original Power show, there wasn't like a whole host of white characters. Like most of them, like. But see, if it's done right, and it actually ain't woke, I don't actually think it's even that bad. But I just think with Power Book 2, it's so much more woke. Like, compare it to Power Book 4. I haven't watched Power Book 3, but that's set in the 90s, and therefore it just shouldn't be woke. But here, I'm willing to bet good money it will be woke, right? But I honestly, I'm just not getting this show. Let's talk about it. Lauren, of course, big reveal, she's still alive. She wants to come out for hiding, but they're not going to let her come out for hiding. Sort of pish and dough. Braden gets Tyreek a job being like an intern at his father's business. Again, there's more, a bit of woke here. You've got Trace saying, oh, we're going to start celebrating Juneteenth now, obviously, which is a black holiday in America. But I don't know, I really like this franchise and I really like this show, but I hate everything that's woke. But I think we just need to accept everything's going to be woke, man. Well, Ham's like I said, Braden sleeps with the woman's secretary because he says he's not America great again guy. Brilliant. That's groundbreaking stuff. You've got Monet still grieving about Seek. Not much more information's coming out there. So Lorenzo tasks Kane to get into the bottom of the killer. So Kane tortures the pilot, gives him a bit of crucial information, but I think it was a bit obvious that Kane knew it was Lorenzo, and like also like the zoom in on the box of Seek's stuff, I think gave it away as well. So that was a wee bit obvious for that point of view. I mean, what else really happened this episode? That was a bit of a dead episode, man. Not much really happening. You've got them selling drugs and in their new business. You had, what do you call him, Drew pushing the, what do you call that guy, the personal trainer who was the current connect, so to speak, at the Weston complex. He gets pushed in front of a truck and his head like explodes. That was pretty cool death, pretty unique as well. But again, it's like, see with like cameras and all, like how would like no cameras have like Drew's face? Before anyone goes, he put his hood up. No, like the scene starts off with him following the guy with no hood up. And I just don't think, as well, you've got this like this new, like the drug empire people. I mean, the guy, the main black guy, right? I don't know where he's from, but he's not British. But the main woman is British, and it's like, how much better would it be if we actually seen like an English guy, a white English guy? But no, that would be woke. And hell, even set him up as a villain, because white guys are all bad. It's like, you look at Power Book 4, they've got this such unique villain in Tommy Flanagan's character, and Walter Flynn. Scottish accent, being Irish, growing up in Glasgow, already explained his backstory. This woman's been in 2 episodes so far and done nothing for me, man. But yeah, like Sachs, he's trying to get in Davis's good books. Is he going to flip over the other side? I'm not too sure. But episode, folks. Like, Kane at the end leverages the whole secret with Lorenzo in order to get, you know, the connect set up through him. So yeah, looks like they're going to survive, all the jobbers. And if it's a bit windy, I'm sorry, I'm outside talking about Power Book 2, folks. That's how good it gets. But anyway, leave it down below. Yeah, 5. I think this season started off a bit bland, if I say. But what I like about Power is, like, I think you can get a bunch of poor episodes, but when they want to produce like a big finale or like an episode in general, I think they can deliver. There are some shows that just don't know how to build up episodes properly, but this show does. So, but anyway, it's a 5 out of 10. Until next time, peace. Troops, it is Fog Entertainment. We are back with another season 3 episode review of Power Book 2 Ghost, and we're here with episode 3. There's a lot of threes in there, but we have to talk about the main talking points this episode, and we may as well talk about Sachs and Davis first, because of course Davis has tasked Sachs with looking into his brother's case. But when Sachs looked into it and he went to the public defender's office, he's realised that the attacker, the committer of the crime, was he was weighed in, well I say weighed in, he was measured, sorry, about 6'2", 6'3", when Davis's brother is only like 5'9". And when Sax brings this to the brother, Rollins, he's like rightfully pissed, but he's also like putting on like a good cover-up act. And I knew it immediately at this point that it was Davis who'd committed the crime. But he's been in jail for a long ass time, Davis, or his brother. So I actually wonder the severity of the crime. But see, Davis, he's like a crooked lawyer. You know, he's like the black Better Call Saul. You know, he's willing to get his hands dirty, so to speak. So can't really spin that either way you can. But yeah, Sax brings this to Davis and pretty much reveals, like, I know you were a criminal before and that you jobbed out your brother. And he's like, man, it was either me or him and he wanted to do it. Believe me, you don't think I wanted to rat over him? Of course not. Of course not. Of course not, man. But that's pretty much there. Two things wrapped up. Of course, Sax trying to get closer to this guy for the case. We didn't see any of Lauren this episode. Of course, she's still in hiding. And pretty much the other main story point was that the fact that Tijaras now want to like take over Brooklyn. And Kane's idea was to wipe out, if you remember the character of Uncle Frank, he wanted to wipe out pretty much his family because his sons pretty much own all the business in Brooklyn. So obviously for these two, it was to be, right, take them out then. But they grew up when they was kids, so that made it a bit difficult. But you could tell here that obviously the main man, Lorenzo, he's not really a shot caller anymore. He's pretty much Kane's bitch. He get beat up at the start of this episode as well. I was like, really? Is this guy just going to take this lying down? Is this what he's going to do? Is he just going to accept getting battered left, right and centre every week, every day by like Kane's thugs? I don't get it. But Drew comes up with a solution that we grew up with these guys when they were kids. We're not going to kill them. They're family friends. We'll make a deal with them. But in order to do that, they have to wipe out some Russians. And that's where the problems stem in this episode. In order to do that, the reason why they've had to do it is that, you know, the new Connect has essentially threatened their families. A picture of Diana, boom. A picture of somebody else, boom. A picture of your grandma, Tariq. And if you don't come and work for us, big man, then if you don't deliver on the money shipment that Mecca would, then we're going to kill all your closest family members. Which is why they need to use this new Uncle Frank family connection to sell and expand through Brooklyn. But in order to do that, they need to kill a few Russians. But Kane's like, if they see a couple of black faces, they'll know it was me or Drew. They'll know it was us. That's why we're going to hire a white boy. And I say hire a white boy, they're going to get Braden to do it. Because, of course, that kill, they killed the personal trader a few episodes ago. That was actually done by Drew. And Kane's like, I want no fuck-ups, white boy. You're doing it. So Braden goes to kill the Russian. Can't bring himself to do it. Tariq needs to save him. Of course, Tariq being black. That kind of spins the whole narrative about someone white killing the Russian at the windy. And when Uncle Frank's boys meet with Drew, Kane and Lorenzo, Kane's like, well sure, we heard it was a white boy that killed him. And obviously that's not went too well doing McCain because they're like, no, it was actually a black boy. But they agree on terms, but it doesn't look like it's going to last very long. It looks like it could just fall through by a thin hair. And Lorenzo, he tried to act negotiate. He's like, your father would be so proud to see both families working together. But then he's like, yeah, even though I may seem like top man, I'm not top man. The top man is actually Kane. So I did find that kind of funny in that sense. We've also got a bit of meaningless shit this episode with Kevin Whitman pressing Monet. They might put harassment charges against this guy. But I mean, this is just a bit filler until it actually leads anywhere. It's not really that interesting. What else did we have happen this episode? It was, yeah, Kane pretty much obviously knowing that Braden jobbed out. He decides to go to Braden, threaten him. He's like, if you ever fuck up again or I find out that you didn't do this kill, or you find out whoever the fuck did it, because he was kind of swears that it wasn't Tariq that did it. Obviously it was Tariq that did it. And then to end the episode, Kane decides to ring Effie. And I mean, like, what's Kane going to do? He's not going to kill Effie. But I look at some of these characters, right, like Braden, Effie, you know, Tariq can claim their family. I think one of these two are going to die. And I would probably say there's more chance of it being Effie, because along with Sax, Braden is like one of the few white characters actually on this show, which would tell me that the probably wouldn't kill him off. And he's like one of like the actual good guy white guys, even though he's not really a good guy, of course, drug dealer. Not exactly killing people yet, that's the whole reason, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10.
Land of Opportunity, unless your name's Kevin Whitman. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It is Power Book 2, Ghost Season 3, Episode 4. And yeah, the NYPD lost a valuable asset in this episode, but let's kick off this episode, shall we? Where we begin, of course, we are cooking. We are making some of that gear. Absolutely. The drug game is going well. Lorenzo designs this mural for Seek. So obviously, if Monet finds out that Lorenzo killed him, that could be critical, couldn't it? But Kevin Whitman's beginning to press a wee bit too much, so Monet decides to come up with a plan with Davis to essentially get rid of him, but Monet says she's going to do it her way. But it looked like they were going to like break into his house and do something. Looks like they took things to a wee bit more of the extreme than that. Meanwhile, though, turns out the new Connect, the woman, even though she's not even there, it's the guy with like the Jamaican accent. He says, "Oh, you deal guns, make a deal guns, or you do guns now." So yeah, we're gun running now, and essentially the deal is set. Drew meets with Frank's sons, and it looks like they were going to kiss. Oh, I don't miss business with pleasure. There's a lot of homosexuality in this television show. If that's your cup of tea, then you go ahead, you dive into it. As for me, I don't like when they kiss. I can't look at the television screen because I'm a heterosexual. Anyway, moving on. Will those two get together? Oh, I care so much about it, man. I care. Kane presses Effie. She basically says, right, you can't tell Tariq that I killed Lauren, but Lauren's doing a wee bit more freaking out, saying, oh, I can't do this. Then we had the bit in school, the bit in college about the land of opportunity. It was, oh, take 2 steps forward if you came for a family of wealth, right? I thought they were going to spin this into being like a race thing, which I mean, I guess you kind of say it is. But at the same time, Tyreek came from a black family and he's pissed it all up against the wall. At the end of the day, right, people need to acknowledge there's a lot of poor white families as well as black families that are poor. And the black population's a lot smaller than the white population, and therefore the ones that get rich, I mean, the rich population's very small. You know, like the real rich. So I mean, I'm just sick. Oh, institutional racism, this institutional racism, that. I'm sick of this RSJ guy. It's like, Tyreek, young brother, he's just using you. And I'm sick of the black talk, man, and the race talk. You know, we're all one, buddy. They're spinning it so much, man. In this show, I mean, I guess you could say it's New York. A lot of the people are Democrats. Like, you know, Tate is literally a Democrat. The Democratic Party's in this show. So I guess you could spin it and say from that point of view, it's a wee bit realistic, couldn't you? But yeah, Diana's getting a bit into beefs with both of them, but essentially she ends up squashing the one with Monet. Monet needs her because she doesn't have a record. How's that going to go? So essentially what it is Diana goes to Whitman, says, I hate Monet too, but I won't be seen dead in that house again. They won't let me in it. But you can go in it when no one's there and you can get the evidence for money laundering. And Whitman accepts this. Now, right, you could maybe spin, right, that the guy's so obsessed with, like, bringing these things down, he's willing to break into the house. But why would he actually break into this house? Like, if no one's at home, why can't Diana just go in and get the documents for him? That's a plot hole, right? And I don't give a shit what anyone says. Why would this cop actually go to this risk to do it? Do not understand it. Tyreek's internship's hanging by a thread unless he gets RSJ on board, which he does, of course, because RSJ wants a building that's left in Tyreek's name from his father. And yeah, if he agrees to work with the new Weston promotion, the Italy tech company, then I will get that deal over the line for you. Brilliant. But we've got a deal set with the racists up north. They want to buy the guns. Turns out, though, one of them's a CI for Blanca Rodriguez, and she runs into Sachs again, doesn't really want to work with him again because he will drop us as fast as you can say. Yippee, Kai, yay. So how's all this going to go down? I'm not too sure, but essentially we have the meat. Braden gets rid of the guns, but the guy keeps taking pictures, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, Braden.
You're not exactly on your A game here, my friend, are you? You're no. Then he drops the guns off to Kane and Lorenzo. Lorenzo's like, right, we need to leave. But then the rednecks show up, take a few pictures of Lorenzo. They think he's alone, so they think they can kill Lorenzo, get their money back, and keep the guns. That's not the case. They go in. Kane's obviously in there. We get into a gunfight. They manage to eliminate the three of them. Then they're pinned down by the other two. But then Drew and one of Frank's sons shows up. Drive by, boom, 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 eliminate them. But turns out the CI guy didn't actually get killed. He's in critical condition. But let me guess, guys, he'll be killed in episode 5, won't he? He'll be killed or something as a loose end. Because if one thing the Power Universe has in common throughout the spin-offs and the original show is that see when there's a loose end or a witness, they don't get to talk. They obviously always and 110% get killed. But I thought this shootout scene was really well done. I had you like on the edge of your feet, so to speak, edge of your toes, edge of your seat, aye, whatever, man, the edge of whatever, not that edge actually. But yeah, it was good. Lorenzo did like move Kane out the way and kind of jumped in front of a bullet for him, you could say. And then when they're driving home, Kane says to him that I'm done using this leverage against you, Dad. You did a good thing there. You saved me. I love you. And he's like, there's one thing, Kane. You're my firstborn son. I'd do anything to protect my children and my family. But yeah, not good for Lorenzo because it turns out Monet's going to find out something pretty bad about him very soon. But meanwhile, Kevin Whitman breaks into the Tahara household. Diana comes down the stairs recording him. Then Monet's like, what the fuck you doing in my house? But obviously it's a setup, right? And then what does she do? I'll tell you what she does. Shoots Kevin Whitman. This guy's a dumb bastard, man. Normally, like, you can't even feel sorry for this guy. You can't, like, he was either going to get arrested or killed. And obviously getting arrested's worse. Although a cop in jail, that's quite bad as well in itself, if we're being brutally honest. But yeah, Kevin Whitman's dead. Pretty decent sized character death this episode. But then the episode ends with Monet getting the fingerprints. Can she trust Lorenzo? Will she tell Lorenzo? How will she get proof? Will she confide in Kane and Kane will confirm it? I'm not too sure, but again, like, if they've got Lorenzo's fingerprints, right, at the crime scene, how the fuck's the guy not been picked up? And I don't want to hear they're building a case against him. For fuck's, you've got his prints at the crime scene, and you know he had a beef with this guy. Oh, come on, man. Do I need to do the police the job, their own job for them? Anyway, I thought this episode was definitely better than the first couple of ones. I think season 3's had a pretty slow start. But I think once Monet confronts Lorenzo and like these cases that are being built against him like gather a bit of steam, I think we're going to be in for a pretty good ending to the season. And then of course that'll be me caught up, and I'm looking forward to discussing this show in the present tense. There's a lot more videos to make when you're watching it weekly, rather than like when you're playing catch up, because like, there's no point me saying, oh, is Kevin Whitman going to die or whatever, because obviously there's 6 more episodes for me to watch this season. But anyway, guys, I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10. Till next time, peace. No more second chances, guys, with season 3 of episode 5 of Power Book 2. And how many seconds in this episode did it take to get in to mentioning race? But 7 minutes, alright? 7 frickin' minutes. So about what? 420 seconds before they had to mention race, and hell, that's me including the intro sequence and the recap. So, I mean, honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. But let's just start the episode. I like the fact that the school thing actually does refer to the titles most of the time, but of course, we're in the aftermath of Detective Kevin Whitman's death. What I didn't like about this episode, right, is you've got them all trying to work together to bring the Tahara family down, but Sax completely spits the dummy because he thinks that the lawyer is seeing Kelly, is seeing a different guy. It's like, hold on, Sax, put your personal feelings to one side. So he ends up following her to this house, but of course we know the house is the house where they're keeping Lauren, the witness, alive. I just didn't get that in the slightest. It felt out of character for Sax. It did. Like, I'm not going to say this season he hasn't like had feelings for this woman, but I mean to like blow this entire thing up, man, is quite incredible, to say the least. And then out of nowhere, they sit down with RSJ. He agrees to it. He's in like, right, we're going to see our new tech company. We're going to Milan. I'm thinking, right, maybe Milan will be episode 6. But no, Tariq, Braden, and Effie go to Milan. Braden ends up getting captured. He gets thrown a beat down, which then prompts him into doing a meet. But when they're doing that meet, the reason he got caught is because the new Connect wanted to get a listening device that Mecca was going to go get at this place, but he couldn't get it because obviously he's dead. And then that guy found out, kidnaps Braden, starts battering him, but then she eliminates the competition, and it turns out the new Connect, this competition, is actually the father of her child, so she's just eliminated it, which freaked Tyreek out. He's like, if she's willing to do that, what's she going to do to us, sort of thing. But again, I don't know, this whole Milan arc, this episode, just flew in. It really did, but Kane says to Lorenzo that Monet's acting a wee bit weird, that she might know something about Seek's death, and Kane presses Lorenzo into telling Monet, well, Lorenzo do it? Yes, he does do it. He tells her. She doesn't exactly take the news well, kicks him out, but you think she's going to let him live. But she talks to Frank's widow, essentially says that Lorenzo's the one that put that in motion. If I remember correctly, was it not just Monet that decided to kill him? And then Drew and Kane killed him? I don't remember the word ever coming for Lorenzo. But even if the word did come from Lorenzo, I mean, it's like 2 seasons and a bit ago. Even if the word did come from Lorenzo, it's not like the rest of the family didn't have anything to do with it. Oh, but he's the father. They have to go with his word. Load of pish. I mean, honestly, then you've got Drew and his new boyfriend, the son of Frank. They eliminate the evidence for the CI guy in the hospital, the redneck hillbilly. And thank God they did, because there was a lot of evidence on that phone, to say the least. Absolutely frickin' was. But yeah, so RSJ, he's all happy. We returned to the States. It's like, right, what are we doing at this stage of the game, folks? What are we doing? Tyreek then gets into his bed. He then gets a text message from this like phone number. He goes into the front gates. It turns out it's Lauren. So why was Lauren just able to escape that house and now come back to Stansfield? To me, that doesn't make any sense. Why is she allowed now to come out? I do not understand it. And like Tyreek, he's killed people in the past for less. He's got people killed for far less. So I don't really grasp why. Like, she admits that she's in hiding with the police and they're building a case against you, and he's just willing to let her walk. It's not even like she used the leverage, like, they know I'm meeting you here, but then he probably would have seen right through that. Either way, I'm not too sure about what the hell's going on here for Tyreek and Lauren, but he lets her go. He jumps in back to bed with Effie. It looks like Effie's going to finally tell him the truth, and then she's like, I love you too, and then just goes to bed. Fair enough. Lorenzo is getting drunk. He just comes out of a bar. He goes to get in his car. Notices there's a tyre with a nail in it. And then he goes to get the spare tyre out. And as soon as he opens the boot, he gets his throat slit. And I think Lorenzo's been absolutely jobbed out. So he gets killed by Frank's gay son. Again, I just... Lorenzo, man. Top man Lorenzo, and he gets killed like this. I mean, what you could argue, he got killed in a moment of weakness because he was drunk. But just to get his throat slit like this. And what's interesting enough about all this is the fact that you've got Kane playing cards with Drew and Diana and Monet. Are they going to be able to know that Monet put this in motion? Probably not. It's probably just going to go down as a random event that he got his throat slit, but then Drew's sleeping with this guy. So that it's going to come out at some point, isn't it? Kane also knows why Monet would want Lorenzo dead. So he's probably going to put 2 and 2 together that he told Monet the truth about Seek, and that's how it went down. I don't think Lorenzo deserves to die. I mean, it was a fucking accident. And if Monet was honest about Seek from the start, there's no way this would have happened. Because Lorenzo, I mean, I'm not saying he would have looked after Seek like he was one of his own, but I think he would have been a bit more understanding. But, yeah. To me, Monet's the one that tore this family apart, not Lorenzo. But I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10. I'm not a fan of the Lorenzo death. I thought the Milan arc was really rushed. Didn't really need to happen, but like, you go to a brand new country and it's like you're back in the same... I think you could have structured that better. Anyway, guys, 6 out of 10 to Len. Peace.
In a land of lies, where is the truth? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It is season 3, episode 6 of Par Book 2. We begin the episode with Monet IDing the body of Lorenzo. But the real question is, how long till Lushanda mentions race? I'll tell you guys, it was about 10 minutes this episode. Oh, shockeroonie there. I'm honestly getting so sick and tired of this. Like, can she just stop mentioning race? She's the only woman bringing up. See this whole white privilege. It's the day with money, man. Right? I'm just not digging this. We get to see like all the Tejada's different perspectives of finding out that Lorenzo's died. So that was quite sad for them. Will the truth come out? Will they find out it was Gordo that did it? Probably not. But honestly, this whole race thing in the school is seriously getting on my tits. Tariq and Braden get into it. So it looks like Tariq's cutting ties with Braden. Sachs is still acting a wee pissy bitch about it, but the Tariq and Effie go a drive. Essentially, she opens up to him, but she doesn't tell him the thing that he thought she was going to tell him, which of course she's responsible for Lauren's death. But as we know, Lauren ain't dead at this stage of the game, is she, my friends? No. But with this Sachs here, with this Sachs, but the facts are here. Effie revealed that when she was younger, a man touched her up. I mean, the way this show's going, I'm surprised they didn't make him white. I mean, they didn't specify his race, so you can only say that. But, I mean, yeah, sad, but at the same time, you know, it's like Drake Bell, right, and other people. See, getting molested as a child, horrible. The person who did it should be killed, right? There should be no jail time for that. But that doesn't justify the person who happened to them, you know, to go out and commit a life of crime. It doesn't, I'm sorry. But anyway, Tariq basically cuts ties with Effie, tells her to find your own way fucking home. Well, she though, I'm not too convinced about that one. But yeah, Braden and Effie are pretty much cut out of the business. But again, like, Effie gets left in the middle of fucking nowhere, and she's like 2 minutes later back in the next scene. We see Lauren sit down with Sachs. Sachs tells her everything she needs to know. About all this, that is what is going on at the minute. Tariq, your boyfriend, your ex-boy, he's not the pretty boy, you know, he's into a lot of shit, basically reveals all he did. I mean, Tariq will obviously spin this in an episode's time, like, oh, but did he tell you that dirty cop killed Raina? Yeah, but Tariq, it's because you were fucking involved with him, mate, moving weight, selling drugs. Honestly, Tariq's a fool. Kane basically gives Braden a pep talk, like, you don't get kicked out of this business, you go back there, boy, and get your fucking time. Kai, though, he's flirting with Monet. Drew and Kane aren't too happy with this, and I mean, I can absolutely see no wonder. Diana then tells Salim to fuck off. You can't call my father a criminal when he's not even cold yet, man. I mean, I guess it's a true point to make at this stage. So yeah, Tariq and Braden make up, but then Tariq says, yeah, you're right, Braden. You and Effie are like my family. Just a pack of fucking liars. Tariq's a liar too. I mean, look how many people he's lied to and got killed. He's lied to Tommy. He's lied to his father. No, come on. Like, come on. Seriously. Have a word with yourself, Tariq. I mean, the fucking delusion of this guy, this kid, to suggest that... How can he take the hat... Why can't he... Like, yo, his family were liars. Pretty much everybody in the Par universe is a liar. Their word ain't really their bond, right? But Jesus Christ, man. I mean, have a bit of... Does he not have a self-conscious? Does he truly believe that he's not a liar? I mean, look at how many times even in this show he's lied to people like Monet and shit. I mean, it's just... It's baffling. At this stage of the game, he's at Raina's grave, and then his grandma confronts him. Looks like they're going to try and make some deal, but then he gets followed by the new Connect, and yeah, looks like he's going to get his grandma, Big Mama, to live with Tasha and Yasmin. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. That's what I talk about, player. But yeah, looks like Lorenzo's death is now getting pinned on the Russians. Gordo decide to come up with that bright fucking idea. Is that going to bite them back this episode? Yes, it will bite them back. Diana then ends up sleeping with Tariq. So yeah, she's still reeling, damn it. Tariq, not looking good for him. Drew then goes into this Russian restaurant where the head guy is, kills him. The guy had like the most generic white guy accent
ever. It's like, this guy's not fucking Russian. I know, I get it, like, you can be Russian, but you live in I mean, he was speaking Russian, but Jesus Christ, I would like a bit of an accent. But Drew kills him. What sort of effects that going to have, who knows. But then, yeah, what happens? Braden, this episode, things aren't going exactly well for him. Either you've got Diana going up to the rooftop and the cameras catch her, so is Diana going to flip? Is she going to rat? I mean, that could potentially happen. There's also a line Diana made this about an orange motherfucker. That might have been the next episode, talking about Trump. Trump getting jobbed out so many times in this show, man. Like, I get it, it's New York, they're Democrats, but fuck me. Like, see this whole race thing and the slavery thing and all this shite. No, it's actually a joke, and it's been getting beyond a joke, right? See, slavery, horrible thing, but did you know that black people owned more slaves than anyone else? Did you know that the Arabs owned a lot of slaves too? But why is it only white people that've got to pay for that? Reparations and be punishable and all that, man. Gee, it's a joke. It's a horrendous. And also, white people were slaves. Every fucking race on this planet has been slaves at one point or another, but there only seems to be one that is guilty for it, and that is the white folks. Oh, your white privilege, Braden. No, Braden ain't using his white privilege. He's using his rich. He's meant it as fuck, man. It's not like any generic white guy can do it. It's a joke. The show, to me, it's just getting more woke. I get it. It's 2020s, man. To get a TV show that ain't woke is going to be incredibly hard. But I'm just fucking sick of the race baiting, man. Left, right, and centre. And there's like, when someone brings up the argument about, oh, well, we're not all bad, then like it quickly gets shot down, or they make themselves look stupid, and it makes all white people look fucking dumb. Anyway, let's move on to the end of this episode. We've got the funeral of Lorenzo Tejada. How's that going to go for him? I am not too sure. Where's it going to go for him? The Russians show up. You've got a bit of a drive-by here. No one at the wedding dies, but a few Russian dies, so plot armor. Monet reveals that Drew put this shitstorm in motion, and then Kane's not happy, and she's like, yeah, Drew's going to be the new head of his family. He's like, yeah, Kane, you might be wearing his chain and shooting his piece, but I'm the head of... And I thought there was going to be these two like properly butting heads after this. It wasn't. It kind of went nowhere. Yeah, Kane tells Effie about what's going on. Braden and Tyreek then meet up, and they're kind of good about it. Davis, though, he's freaking out. Monet's on the phone. She then returns home. There's a ghost of Lorenzo, and he's like, the kids are never gonna fucking forget you. Or forgive you, sorry. So, yeah. That's your episode. I mean, I think it was better than the last one. I'll probably get a 7 out of 10, but come on, Pa, right? I swear to fuck, right? See, the next time we're in the classroom and they mention race and it's that Lashandra bitch, I'm going to go fucking off my head. I am. 7 out of 10, man. It's actually getting fucking tiresome. Reveals are made, wars are ended in the latest episode of Power Book 2 Ghost. We're here with Season 3, Episode 7. And yeah, for some whatever reason, this show's not continuing past Season 4. I already knew when I filmed Episode 6, but I didn't really address it, but I may as well address it here. Don't know why. And then I looked at the ratings and I went, Jesus Christ, Season 3's ratings compared to Season 2, especially Season 2 finale, is absolutely incredible. But anyway, let's begin this episode where it started, because that's where you have to begin. The beginning of a book wouldn't be any good if you opened it halfway through, but this is Power Book, and we begin with a war. Essentially, the Russians are going apeshit, man. They're bloody killing everybody, sending texts to Kane, you fucked up, you killed Pavel, we're going to end you, motherfucker. So all that good stuff's happening. That's how the episode should begin, man. Immediately grabs your attention. Yeah, is it like a bunch of jobbers getting killed here? Absolutely. But at the same time, that is what's happening. Meanwhile, Monet's trying to like flirt with that K guy in order to get like manpower. But the more the episode went on, I went, there's definitely something at play here. And you know what? There was. Meanwhile, you've still got Tyreek phoning Lauren, and I knew by the end of this episode, Lauren is going to give him crucial information when she should. Lauren is so stupid and naive. I also think it is a bit stupid, the fact that Tyreek, I mean, I accept why he wouldn't kill her, right? Why he wouldn't do it, but
you do get the feeling that she kind of has to go. Also, Davis and Sachs meeting with Davis's brother just looks like this guy will never be able to pass, but he managed to get this episode, which was quite good for him. I'm pretty sure though that they've recast it. This guy, see when he appeared in season 1, he looks like a completely different person than he is now. I'm willing to bet good money they have definitely did a different casting. Definitely got to say that. Meanwhile though, Gordo, his family, they're kind of freaking out. But why the hell they're backing the hardest to the help? I'm doing it. I'm doing it for Drew. I'm doing it for my boyfriend, man. I'm doing it for him. And if you got a problem with that, then damn. Tyreek then gives Tate the address where the Russians are getting their shipments more. The NYPD close in, but then that kind of makes the task force realise, with the likes of Sachs and Jenny, that hold on here, Tate must be some form of middleman because look, it's took out the enemy of them guys, Tyreek and co. Again, but like the Russians, like why would they be okay? Well, I'll say that why would they be okay with this? I just don't really get it. Meanwhile, we've got Hayden. He's going on like a secret mission for himself, and what he does is he sneaks through like all these back doors at the Western headquarters, and it turns out they're running this Ponzi scheme, and it's like, and everyone knew about it, and they also knew that he was dealing drugs for the get go. So I'll say everyone knew about it. It's the uncle that knows about it. So interested, absolutely. And I'm not surprised that this guy's into some shady shit. Tariq runs into Effie. He needed something from her, and then she's like, "Well, I'm not going to give it to you." And then it's like she wanted something for him, and then she's like, "I'm not going to give it to you." So it's like, Tariq, you can't expect her to give you something if you're not going to give her anything. Just a bit of an, I mean, come on, man. What are we doing here? We're racing our ping pong, my friend. Racing our ping pong. We get more scenes in the classroom. I don't think they brought up race in this episode, so that was very good. Probably the first episode in the show's history. We didn't do it, but we've got Diana leveraging to her ex-boyfriend, the guy who, Salim. Turns out he's not Salim from the hood. He's some guy from a rich... But then again, no, they did mention race, actually, because like she's like, "Oh, you had it good growing up with white folks." It's like, what is this? So? And they were at fundraisers for that orange motherfucker. Trump did more for the black community than fucking Joe Biden eats cereal or ice cream. Sorry. So see this whole gimmick that the Republican Party and Trump's racist. If you actually know what's going on in America, you can see right through the left side of media, CNN and co, trying to just bury Trump, man. They've done it ever since he announced himself for that race in 2050. Ever since he came down those escalator stairs, there's been a war waging on Donald Trump, man. But yeah, Trump's a racist guy, isn't he? I mean, have none of these people seen Joe Biden and all the history that he's done? Come on, folks. Anyway, business picks up here as Monet gets into a struggle with Kai. Kane manages to kill him. She then sends a text message to this number. It turns out that number Gordo to make it look like that they were working together on Frank's death. Obviously, Kai didn't know. It was just Gordo. At the end of the day. And Drew feels absolutely betrayed by this, especially when he's sleeping with Gordo and he sees it on his phone, and as Gordo goes to take a shower, he lifts his gun. Bang, bang, good night. He is killed. Absolutely brilliant. Meanwhile, Davis's brother kind of disowns him. He says, "If you could go to jail for this, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore, man. I can't do it. I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it." Meanwhile, Tariq goes up to like the government building they're transporting Lauren to. Gives this guy money for his DEA badge. Guy just gives him it. And then Lauren meets Tariq in the toilet. And he's like, "Holy shit, they're building a RICO against us. What the fuck?" And then he's like, "Why the fuck didn't Sachs know about this?" And she's like, "Wait, Cooper Sachs? Yeah, he's a double agent." Why is Lauren telling him this information? Sachs was nothing but good to Lauren. Didn't lie to her. Why? She even said it herself. Sachs the only guy that didn't lie to me. And here she is jobbing them out. Now you can argue, "Oh, she's naive," but Tyreek killing Sachs has been, I mean, obviously this entire show coming, and like the final couple of seasons apart when Tyreek, got up to being a wee criminal. So yeah, just don't grasp this. So what's he gonna do? I'm not too sure. Then the episode ends with the SWAT busting into the Tahara household and they arrest Diana. Because, of course, she's caught on the cameras selling the gear. So, well, getting the gear out the wall. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to play out, troops. But in terms of the episode, I think a lot of stuff happened. But I just don't get along. Like, it just feels forced. I think Power does this a lot where a character reveals like crucial information that they shouldn't really be revealing. And not just because from a morality standpoint, it's like, well, why the fuck would you tell it? Like, Lord, like, idiotic. Anyway, guys, give us episode a 7 out of 10. 7 for episode 7. As Creed once sang, my sacrifice. Well, back to Fog Entertainment. And I've always liked Sachs, but today the sack has burst as Cooper Sachs dies. Well, back to Power Book 2. Ghost, Season 3, Episode 8, Sacrifice. I actually am kind of bewildered that they killed Sachs off. I'm not going to pretend, right, that he's the greatest TV character of all time, right? But, you know, he's been in the show. I believe he was in the very first episode. The guy, yeah, just weird. And, I mean, was it the right way to kill him? I mean, I think of all the ways that Sachs could have... I mean, this guy survived Tommy and Ghost breaking into his house. Not many people can claim that, my friends, that's for sure. So let's move into it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Sachs and Davis, because they begin the episode on the roof, but then Davis receives a phone call, he's pissed, and we think, oh, this is Tyreek telling him the details, but it's not Tyreek telling him the details, it's Monet telling him to get his ass down to the precinct because my daughter, Diana's been arrested, but Monet's freaking out thinking that she's not going to be able to keep her mouth shut, Diana, and if she does, she'll keep herself safe, not her herself, brother. Which, I mean, I think is a bit unfair on Diana. I think Monet this episode was very unfair on Diana, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes down. So Sachs goes down to deal with it because Davis is a wee bit too drunk, but then Tyreek tells Davis, says that we need to talk ASAP. I wonder what that's going to be about. And I tell you what it's about. He tells him that Sachs has jobbed them out, but at the same time, they can't really do anything to Sachs because obviously if they get rid of Sachs, they'll know something was up. But at this point, Diana's being pressed. Images concerning the product getting moved. She's kind of reluctant. Well, you know what though? It'll be my first offence. Community service. Then they mention the Rico case. Again, I think it's a bit stupid to mention a fucking Rico case to people who don't know about Rico cases. Kane then turns up to Effie's house. So it looks like these two could be a couple. Is Tyreek going to take that bad? Potentially. What is he going to get with? Is he going to get with Diana now? Not that this Effie relationship might not last long, but yeah, Sachs and Davis are then talking to Diana, and he spills coffee over Sachs and essentially just gets her to flip on Effie. But then it turns out it's not actually not flipping on Effie. I thought they were jobbing Effie out, but it turns out they just did it to get heat off themselves because all Effie had was coffee cups. No product, just sugar. But the way she ran away made you think that. Anyway, that it was more serious than sugar. Obviously, the drugs that they've been peddling, but no. But I mean, do I see a Kane and Effie relationship going far? Well, I mean, judging by the end of this episode, probably not. But of course, with that happening to Effie, prompted the police to use their Trump card and not their Donald Trump card because they'll cry about that, won't they? You can't use a Donald Trump card because we hate Donald Trump at the end of the day. But yeah, it forces their hand into laying the smacker down on their candy ass. And what's that? Whipping out Lauren Baldwin and pretty much revealing that she's still alive. Kane notices this. Can't believe that she's still alive. He's going to feel so jobbed out by Effie and Braden. And that's the thing, Effie's going to jail. Kane's not going to be able to get at her, but you can guarantee next episode there's going to be a confrontation between Ben Affleck and Kane Dahara. That is for sure. I mean, I'd bet pretty good money on it, to say the least. Meanwhile, though, Sachs, he's leaving a voicemail to Tyreek. He basically says, anything happens to me, information about where Tasha and Yasmin are will leak out. And then what happens when he gets into his car? Big man Rollins, Theo Rollins, confronts him. Holy moly, Theo Rollins. The guy that he helped get out. is now a rat snitch. Sorry, I was eating a wee bit of stew there, trying to refresh my memory bank. And I just didn't think that Sax was going to die. I didn't. RSJ then leverages all the information that Tyreek's told him about the Ponzi scheme, and essentially looks like he's going to get his money back. The Taharas are going to get their money back, and Tyreek's going to get his trust fund back. So overall, all good news for them. They can't really complain about it too much. But Sax, yeah, not looking good for him. Rollins takes him out to the helicopter port later on. We see Tate. He asks his old girlfriend, who's now still his new girlfriend, to marry him, but she rejects after he was seen having dinner with the Uncle Weston. Damn it. So yeah, that's completely off the cards in that regard. And essentially what happens is Diana gets off, which I thought was quite mental, and like the way like Monet just speaks to her here, very bizarre, like treating her like a bit of trash underneath the table, man. Absolute mess in my opinion. And then we may as well get to the final bit of this episode where Davis and Tyreek manage to get to Sax and Rollins, but it's too late. You know, Sax like, thank fuck Davis, you here, save me. Sax kind of pleading, obviously they don't want Teal to do it, but you knew it was going to happen. Once he shot Sax, I knew he was going to shoot himself, and yeah, like that, Sax is killed, he gets shot. Guy's been in the Power series. I mean, he's been in, what, 9 seasons now? A hell of a lot of episodes. And he gets shot through the chest, falls, hits the floor. And just, you think back to like the early seasons of Power with Greg, Angela, Sax. What's the other guy? I can't remember. The other guy who was a rat. He worked for Lobos. Him. Fleet by Lobo. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but you know, they're all dead. Medina's like the last one standing. He's like, no, I get a big shot player. So yeah, guys, quite incredible. And then Theo Rollins turns the gun on himself. But I just would have never imagined this guy killing Sax. Which I think makes it a bit more messed up, because I'm pretty sure that they recast this Theo Rollins guy. Which is a bit of a mess, but here. I don't think many other people. It's not like he was a massive character before he did it, so yeah. Rest in peace, Sax. Holy shit. What an ending episode, though. Davis breaking down Tariq, like, holy fuck, what's next? And what is next? Who's going to jail for this? Tariq. Yeah, alright, I mean, a great ending it was. Not the best episode I've ever seen of Power, but I think like the last 10 minutes really picked up, and I'm going to give this episode, folks, I'm going to get an 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed the ending, so until next time, peace. What a penultimate episode of the season 3 season we've just had there with Power Book 2 Ghost, and it is season 3 episode 9 review. Holy moly, a last gift in video, and I feel like it delivered here. I feel like season 3 got off really to a pretty slow start, but we've seriously picked up. But we begin the episode, we've got Kane, he wants Davis, Tariq wants Davis, Tariq's looking for information, but then these two bump into each other, they get into a fist fight, Davis splits it up. Tariq points out that Sax's paperwork had a report of Kevin Whitman's investigation, so that's not looking good. His report about the Mecca incident as well, which Tariq then takes back to his dorm room, which will be a pretty idiotic manoeuvre. Tate then asks Tariq questions about is Weston's got anything dodgy going on. Those are a Ponzi scheme, but Tariq denies it. But then Tate manages to open an investigation into it, which puts Weston, all their assets are frozen, all their money's frozen, and Lucas is essentially on the run. And Hayden has got a hard question of, are you going to kill your uncle? Tariq's like, you always live half in, half out. You gotta fucking do this, man. Yeah, then everyone, Jenny and co, Blanca Rodriguez, they get the phone call. Sax is dead, go down to the morgue. Jenny's quite sad. And yeah, you know what, I think it is a quite sad moment, because at this stage of the game, Sax, you know, Power OG character, and there was actually quite a lot of Power OG characters that returned this episode. I'll let you know that for free. An insane amount, that is for sure. Kane tells Braden about this, he run him over, and then yeah, he's in hospital for like 2 seconds, but then Lucas makes the phone call through to the task force and says he's willing to give up the people that were behind the Ponzi scheme and the drug operation that was running inside Weston Holdings. Once he said this, I knew Lucas was going to die, whether it be this episode or the next one. Then you've got his assistant saying, I'm not like you, Braden, I need to go. You've got white privilege. Come on. See this white privilege thing that keeps getting it's a wealth thing. I'm sick of this rhetoric, man. White privilege that, white privilege this is a joke. Then Frank's wife, I can't actually remember her name. Evelyn, is it? I think it is Evelyn. Turns up, basically threatens Monet, and then Monet tells Drew and Kane that you're probably gonna have to wipe out the crew. You're gonna have to wipe them out, Frank's family, and they gas them. But before she passes away, she tells Drew that Monet's the one responsible, and then obviously they're able to put that together with Lorenzo's whereabouts and Tyreek's reports, and also Sack sent out a bunch of letters this episode. He sent one to Monet claiming that Tyreek was a rat and he's working for the feds. Obviously, he's doing that to get Tyreek killed, because even from the grave, Sax is laying the smackdown. But I actually agree with this move, because I think Sax is such an influential character across the universe that, and that's the Power universe, by the way, not the globe, not the world, that it makes sense to have him like have a reach from the grave. So yeah, he sent letters out to her. He sent a letter to 2-Bit, who returned out of nowhere. I was absolutely shocked about seeing 2-Bit. We haven't seen him since season 1. So yeah, great to see 2-Bit in here. He also sent a letter to Jenny saying that he had feelings for her, and she did too. But here, I'll try and affect these bastards for the grave sort of talk going on there. So will it go according to plan? I don't know. Effie, will she go to jail? Not much really happened with her end in this episode, but you know, Kane's trying to pressurize her to flip on Tyreek, but she's not really doing that. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go. Davis, you know, basically gets confronted by Jenny, but they're kind of playing the blame game, aren't they? They're all kind of playing the blame game, pointing the blame at each other and all that good stuff. What else happened this episode? You know, you get Hayden, he manages to track down Lucas, he goes in. I didn't think he would kill his uncle. I didn't. But he pushes him. His uncle falls, he dies, so that's that problem dealt with. But my God, his dad also got arrested. So the Westons are like completely and utterly at this stage of the game falling apart. But what I think was shocking, like, was the actual gassing of that family. Like, Jesus Christ, like Kane and Drew, the Hadas are not to be messed with at this stage of the game. But then we get, you know, towards the closing, you can, I've always said it about Power, right? You can say what you want about this show, but when it's getting to an important time in the timeline, or, you know, we're heading towards the end of a season, they deliver with their, like, episodes. They do, like, there's a noticeable step up in quality between, like, the final episodes of a season and, say, like, the mid to start of a season. And then we get the scene where Kane, Drew, and Diana pretty much confront Monet, and it looks like it all ties are cut here. She's like, you think you know all about your dad, done heinous shit as well, he killed Seek, what about me? He also got the guaps to get you jumped through. You know, they've all did shady shit, but at the end of the day, I think Monet's the shadiest. You can say you want about Lorenzo, but he's a straight shooter. And Monet got him, like, it was an accident. He didn't mean to kill Seek. But Monet will probably come out of this season, or this show, smelling the roses. But I think in the finale, I haven't watched episode 10 yet, and as soon as I finish it for you, I'm going to go watch it. I've got a feeling that someone from the Tejada family's going to die. It might be Monet, but I think they'll end up killing one of the children. But then maybe they'll all make it to the final season. I'm not too sure. But then what happens is Tyreek runs into 2-Bit. 2-Bit says he got a letter from that crooked lawyer motherfucker, and it's all about Sax. And essentially what this is the whereabouts of Tasha. Right? But what I thought is it he gave it to 2-Bit, but it must be he sent another letter to Tommy Egan. But then he didn't send a letter to Tommy Egan because it was actually a text message from Monet Tejada. So obviously in that letter that Sax sent Monet must have been the whereabouts of his Tasha, as leverage.
So yeah, 2-Bit he steals Tariq's car. I want to see 2-Bit either in the final season of Power Book 2 or in Force. Because I think 2-Bit's a pretty good character. Tariq then shows up. He like reunites with Yasmin, but then out of nowhere, the pink Chevy, or the blue Chevy. He likes his muscle cars, Tommy. It comes out of nowhere. He rides in. He drops the guards on the balcony. Big Mama leaves. She doesn't. She's like oblivious to all of this. And then he holds Tasha at gunpoint. It's like, holy shit, Tommy Egan's back. But where is this in the timeline? I get it. Someone did say to me to watch it like Power Book 2 Season 1, then Force Season 1, then Power Book 2 and Season 3 back to back. But what I would say is, like, what does this mean then? Like, I would like there to be reference to this appearance in Power Book 2 in the Season 2 premiere of Power Book 4, just to connect the timeline. But then Episode 1 of Season 2, I believe, is called Tommy's Back. I would just like it. I mean, it's part of the same universe, so you may as well connect it. But then also, when Season 1 of Force ended, you seen, like, Blanca Rodriguez and Medina talking about, like, this thing. So I'm intrigued to see how they're all going to overlap, because you can't just keep having characters jump back and forth if the timelines aren't completely connected. That is my opinion on that. But Tommy goes to kill Tasha. He's like, oh, don't worry, there's a silencer on it, which I thought was a pretty funny line. But then Tariq comes in, you're like, what's going to happen? Then the agent storms into the front door. Just Tommy drops him. Tariq then turns around to shoot Tommy, but then he gets knocked out from behind. And the only person that could have knocked Tariq out was Tasha, unless someone else entered the building, which I doubt. So yeah, and Tariq's obviously left with the cliffhanger of, holy shit, what's going on? This Tommy took Tasha. Will Tommy be in the finale? I think he will be. Will Tasha die? I think it's time Tasha died. I mean, I think they've dragged it out the amount of times she's escaped death, especially for even Tommy alone. But yeah, guys, I thought they really delivered with this episode. I'll give it an 8. We only give halves on this channel. If one of us gives us like a 9, and I give an 8, for example. I think this does warrant an 8.5, but I don't think it's quite a 9, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10, guys. Till next time. Peace. Divided we stand, united we fall. Damn it. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment, and it is Power Book Season 3, Episode 10, Power Book 2 that is, and yeah, Season 3 finale. With this, I'm officially caught up here with Power Book 2, and did this episode deliver? I mean, I thought it was good. I felt like there would be way more deaths in this episode, but there wasn't, but as what it is. I mean, I think they'll more than make up for it, guys, in Season 4. But we do begin the episode. Effie's still in jail, right? And you know what, I might as well just wrap up the Effie's in jail story. For me, I think Paul has got almost a fetish with people in jail, and then they always get out on a technicality. They always get out. Would it be so hard for this franchise just to let someone do like 20 years in jail? It's even like, look back at the original show. How many, like, Tommy went to jail, right? For a couple of episodes. Ghost was in jail for a decent amount of time, right? So I can't really bury that. But then you've got other people, right? Like 2-Bit and Spanky, who were in jail. Dre ended up in jail, but they always end out. I think what this show needs is one of the main characters going to jail for a prolonged period of time. Because I think without that, you don't really see the risk of the business we're in. Now, yeah, people can die, but there's got to be different alternatives. I think you look at other TV shows, people go and do jail, right? Or they at least rat. Like, there's not even many rats in this show. But, yeah, they threaten Lauren to withdraw her statement. So she buries Jenny on the stand, the district attorney. And obviously, because she recants her statement, that prompts him to let Effie go. And then Effie, right? I don't get this bitch. Yeah, and I will address her. I actually do not like this character. So Tariq, Kane, etc., get her off, right? Because they managed to get Lauren to flip back to the good side. And we have this scene where she leaves the prison and she's like, I'm on my own, Tariq. Never needed anyone but myself. It's like, hold on, Effie. Without anybody, you'd have been in jail here. Like, how retarded can one person be? Like, I get it. If you want to have this standalone character, then you work away. You fire away. But let's not pretend that you got out of this situation off your own merit. You know, it's because everyone helped you. I hate characters like this, and I don't think they'll kill her. I don't think they will.
mean, she's been around since the original Power, man. For God's sake, Power, can we kill this bitch? Because I seriously cannot stand her. But yeah, she gets it. Tyreek, that's pretty much that arc wrapped up. He went to visit Tommy's mum earlier on in the episode with a gun. You know, it was good seeing Katie. I actually don't mind Katie Egan. She says that Monet Tahara dropped off a letter for her. We find out later it wasn't Monet Tahara, it was actually Diana Tahara in a red wig, because apparently 4 days ago, Drew and Monet actually came to the. No, Drew, sorry, and Diana came to the realisation that Monet's got to go and they're going to set Tyreek up to do it, so damn. And then another thing I thought was a bit cringe is you see Monet meet with the Connect and Norma, and they put Monet in charge, and then like Tyreek can't do anything. And I know what it feels like, right? This show, I get it. See, Kane, Tyreek, Braden, Effie, they are like college kids, apart from like Kane, right, who actually is like a gangster, I guess you could say. But they do get treated like kids. It's like Monet gets put in here to fucking supervise them. What? See, in the original Power, would anyone have got put in to supervise Tommy and Ghost? No, it does come across a wee bit pathetic, right? It does. Now, you can make it seem a different way. It doesn't have to seem like supervision, but the way they went about this made it absolutely feel like supervision. But yeah, because Tyreek's came through on the green card promise, Obi, maybe he'll do him a favour. We then have Ghost, Ghosts of the past, so to speak, because Tommy confronts Tyreek. He says that him and Tasha put their differences to one side, and he says Tasha took off after the marshals shown up, and then we see the flashback of what happened. So, again, I'm going to make a separate vid on this, right? But do we really think that Tommy and Tasha can just put the beef behind? I think it's almost like a cheap excuse to keep Tasha alive. I think Tommy should have killed her. And then that gives Tyreek a personal vendetta against Tommy. I don't get why Tommy would all of a sudden flip again. Like back to not wanting to kill her. I mean, she's a snitch at the end of the day. Tried to get Tommy killed back in season 1 of this show. Done so much stuff against Ghost. Got Kanan killed. Like, I just don't grasp it. Alright? Just don't grasp it. Tommy talking about how he wants to smoke weed and drive around New York with her. Then he also tells Tariq not to start a war with Monet and that he's leaving because New York ain't for him no more. So, yeah. Like, that's probably going to be the last time we see Tommy in Powerbook. I don't think he might appear in season 4. But then, obviously with the timeline, if he goes back to Chicago now, that means that Powerbook 4 season 2 needs to happen in a period of time where he can get back to New York for season 4. Anyway, I know it's not the longest drive, but it is what it is. It was good seeing Tommy. Definitely adds to the finale. Kane and Monet then steal a bunch of the West and shit. Because you took our money, motherfucker. You took our money. Davis, so he's freaking out. Things aren't going too good for him. We then see Davis leverage with Tate about the whole Western thing. He's like, but if you do this, big man, if you get Lauren Baldwin off, we'll be alright. So yeah, but then Tate's wife to be hears this, looks like she's gonna dump him. Oh, Tate, again, another like forced relationship that feels like it's going absolutely nowhere. And that, well, I mean, I say it's going nowhere, it is, but it looks like the entire Rico case, everything has been dropped, so it looks like everyone here is going to get away with it. But yeah, Diana then tells Tariq to kill Monet. We see Diana and Monet get into the car. Tariq, he was considering doing it, right? But then Monet gives a speech to Diana, like how she loves her. I had to be tough when I gave Seek up. And then it does appear that Diana changes her mind completely. Doesn't want to kill her mum. But then as she changes her mind, someone drives by. Mini Uzi fires a bunch of shots into the car. Monet gets hit a couple of times. She doesn't die. She's in hospital. There's a video there about whether or not she'll die. This is when we find out that Drew and Diana planned all this. Tasha then meets with Tariq on a bench, worried about each other's livelihood. Tariq's like, you gotta get back to Yaz and Big Mama. But then we get the ending of this episode, which I thought there was quite a lot happening here. Basically, Braden Says he's out of the game. Tariq can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Then Paz turns up at the precinct. It turns out one of the cops is her son, Junior. But I did not even recognise him. Oh, it's good you're following in your auntie's footsteps. Well, it's a good job you said that, because even though as soon as she said it, I was like, holy shit, that's who that is. That's why this guy feels like they're forcing them down our throats a bit. But he gets given a USB. What's going to be on the USB? I'm not too sure. All I know is that regardless of what's on the USB, what will probably happen is, see in season 4, they'll kill him to get the USB content. See, anytime any evidence has been left on a USB, man, it gets killed. Like, the person gets killed, I feel like part is repetitive in that way. Like I said, man, at the start, I think, see, in the real world, people go to jail. Par need to accept that. As much as I like this franchise and I like this show, you need to let people go to jail, man. Everyone just can't get away. I don't, honestly, don't get it. But what is on this USB, we'll never know till next season. There is a trailer. I'm going to react to it, so that'll be interesting to say the least. But then we get the final showdown. Tariq turns up, says that he can be the new man. He's like, cut everyone else out. But then the Tejadas turn up and be like, yeah, he's the one that tried to kill Monet. Then Norma gives the go ahead to kill Tariq, but he's like, no, you can't kill me because I've got people looking into your daughter. But then Effie appears and's like, I gave you bogus information, Tariq. That's not real. So by Tariq's been betrayed by everybody. Kane goes to shoot him. The lights crash out. Braden turns up for nowhere, starts firing, hits Kane. I'll make a fed about did Braden kill Kane. Braden kills a couple of Norma's security guards, flicks a gun over to Tariq, they escape, and then they're like, the war is fucking on. The war is on. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it left a bad taste in my mouth this episode, but I did feel like there'd be more deaths. But again, for a war, I think you need to keep it. It's a war between the Tejadas, Effie, Braden, and Tariq. Is Tariq going to reach into Tommy and get some connects that way? I'm not too sure, guys. But anyway, I want you to leave your thoughts down below. I thought it was a good finale. I think after the last couple of episodes, it had potential to be a lot better. But I'll still give it a 7 out of 10. It still delivered, I think. But anyway, till next time, that's me fully caught up, guys. If you want Power Book 2 theories and all that good stuff, I'm going to be delivering Mayan-esque content. Till next time, peace.